You were never really a kid. While other children were playing, you were worrying. While they were carefree, you were carrying things no child should carry. You grew up fast, not because you wanted to, but because you had no choice. And that changes a person in ways most people never fully understand. 1. You became the emotional support system. Most kids run to their parents when something goes wrong, but some children had it backwards. Their parents ran to them. They became the listener, the fixer, the one who held everything together. At an age when they should have been figuring out who they were too busy managing everyone else's emotions. Psychology calls this emotional parentification, and that pattern often follows people into adulthood. 2. You learned that safety was never guaranteed. Childhood is supposed to feel safe, but for some kids, home didn't feel that way. Arguments, instability, uncertainty. When a child grows up in an unpredictable environment, their nervous system adapts. It stays on high alert, always scanning, always preparing for the next problem. That constant state of alertness doesn't just disappear when the child grows up. It rewires how they experience the world as an adult. 3. You skipped the part where you were allowed to be messy. Being a kid means being allowed to make mistakes, to be silly, to not have it figured out, to just exist without pressure. But children who grow up too fast never get that permission. They learned early that being vulnerable had consequences, so they became composed, responsible, reliable. On the outside, impressive. On the inside, exhausted, because they never got the chance to just be a kid. 4. You developed hyper-independence. When you cannot rely on the adults around you, you learn to rely on yourself. You figure things out alone. You don't ask for help because asking for help never really worked. You handle everything quietly because that's what you had to do to survive. As an adult, this looks like strength, and in many ways it is, but it also makes it incredibly difficult to let people in, to trust, to lean on someone, to accept support without feeling weak. 5. You struggle to identify what you actually need. Children who grow up too fast spend so much time focused on others that they lose track of themselves. Their needs got pushed aside so many times, they stopped recognizing them. As adults, they often find it hard to answer a simple question. What do you actually want? Not what others need, not what is expected. What do you need? For many people who grew up too fast, that question feels genuinely difficult to answer. The core reality. Growing up too fast is not something you just get over. It shapes how you think, how you relate to people, how you see yourself. But understanding where these patterns came from is the first step toward changing them. You adapted to survive a situation that was never your fault. And recognizing that is where healing begins. If any part of this felt uncomfortably familiar, stay here. Because on this channel, we don't just observe behavior, we explain the psychology behind it.